السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا أوفوا بالعقود أحلت لكم بهيمة الأنعام إلا ما يتلى عليكم غير محل الصيد وأنتم حرم إن الله يحكم ما يريد صدق الله العظيم. Alhamdulillah. ثم alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us tawfiq to come to His house. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our coming here. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all forms of ibadat that we may be engaged in. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to do more and give us tawfiq to stay firm on it until our last breath. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. Ameen keh diya karen, dua ke baad paise nahi lagte. Zor se bol dein ek dafa Ameen ya. Ameen. We're starting Surah Maaidah. Some of the scholars are of the opinion that this is one of the last surah of Quran that was revealed. Whether it means that it was the last surah that was revealed, or it means that it was revealed towards the end of life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah knows best. But this has been written about Surah Maaidah to be one of the last surahs to be revealed. It takes its name from dua of Isa alayhi salatu wassalam, which is all the way at the end of surah. And the background is that the companions of Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, Hawariyin, they asked Isa alayhi salatu wasalam to bring down a khiwan, dasarkhan, full of food. عِيدًا لِأَوَّلِنَا وَآخِرِنَا وَآيَةً مِّنْكَ. Bring it down so it becomes a means of joy for us and for those people who will come after us, and also وَآيَةً مِّنْكَ. It is a proof of your prophethood. One of the differences that we find, many differences that we find in, there is no comparison between the Sahaba of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the companions of other prophets, but over here we do see that how strong of a connection the companions of Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, Hawariyun, had with Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, with their prophet, that they were asking, O Prophet of Allah, bring down something so we may enjoy it, and also it's a proof for your prophethood. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the ayahs right after that. قَالَ اللَّهُ إِنِّي مُنَزِّلُهَا عَلَيْكُمْ. I will bring one down, send one down. But anyone who refuses to accept after that will receive my punishment. This is the nishani. Now you're asking for a nishani, you're asking for a proof. Better believe in it. Surah starts with a very small reminder. I'm calling it a reminder, it's an order, about which now we have departments in universities. The surah starts with a small order with words for which we have, throughout the world, we have universities with departments in it to discuss, to teach, to learn, to further explore. And that is mutual contracts. يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا أَوْفُوا بِالْعُقُودِ. We are the ones who are addressed here first. يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. Awfu, complete, fulfill. Uqud is the plural for aqd. Aqd nikah. Aqd. In other words, ahad, a contract. Mu'ahida, when the same word ahad comes into the form of mu'ahida, simply means when there are two parties, two people making some kind of agreement, that's called mu'ahida. Mu'amla, mu'anaqa, mushahada, musafaha, all of these forms of verbs in Arabic language require two parties, two people, two groups to get involved in some action. So musafaha means, what is musafaha? When two people shake hands. Mu'anaqa means when two people hug each other. Unuq means neck. When two people hug each other, that's called mu'anaqa. Remember yesterday we talked about all Arabic words have some literal meaning behind it which actually signifies the actual action. Mushahida means, shahid means the one who sees. So when two people see each other, they've seen it, mushahada. Muamala is that when two people are making some kind of agreement. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has started, previous surah with Alif Lam Mim, Dhalikal Kitab La Rayba Fi. Then the next surah came, which was Alif Lam Mim, Allahu La ilaha illahu al-hayyul qayyum. Something about the book or the revelation or Allah. Surah Nisa starts with Ya ayyuhan nasu ttaqu rabbakum alladhi khalaqakum min nafsin wahidah. O mankind, fear Allah, fear your Lord. This surah starts right away with the instruction. Awfu bil uqud. Just with the start of the surah and the words that have been used should give us the importance that whenever we are making a contract, be it small or big, it needs to be given due attention. It needs to be given due attention. There are no small or big contracts when it comes to violation of those contracts. A violation of contract is a violation. It was a small contract violation or a big contract violation, it's a violation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about different kind of contracts. Not in this surah, in different places of Quran. How many types of contracts we have? We have a contract that you and I make, and then we have another contract. We have the very first contract that we made even before we were born, even before the creation was born, was the contract that we made with our Creator. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked all of the arwah, Alastu bi rabbikum? Am I not your Rabb? There was a first contract. So one type of contract that we have is with Allah, with the Creator, and then comes all of other contracts with the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, including the contract with our wives, with our spouses, and with our families and friends, and our business partners, and our subordinates. Violation of any of those contracts, big or small, is considered a violation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions certain laws pertaining to our life as a Muslim. In the beginning of the surah, first two surah, it talks about ahkam of safar, it talks about ahkam of tayammum, it talks about requirements, conditions before salah, it talks about eating halal and haram food, it talks about getting married with Ahl Kitab, for women, for a Muslim male to bring in his nikah a woman from Ahl Kitab, not the other way around, only this way, one way. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings our attention to the contracts that were violated from people of the book, Ahl Kitab.
This is the second ruku starts with the contract that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had taken from Ahl Kitab, and then for the next 6, 7, 8, 9 pages, the historical account of breaking those contracts, both with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, their prophets, and with the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why were those historical events narrated in the Quran with so much detail? Not just as a historical incident, not just telling us about the psychology of the Ahl Kitab, not just also we find out how bad these people are. But the maqsad is, the goal is, or I should be saying one of the maqsad is, that we take lesson from whatever they were doing and we refrain from them. They broke one contract and we may be involved in a similar contract and we avoid breaking that contract. What will happen? What happened to them? It can happen to us as well. The ruku starts with, and you can see the relationship between how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts the surah, and then in the second ruku how He starts the events of Ahl Kitab by saying, وَلَقَدْ أَخَذَ اللَّهُ مِيثَاقَ بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took a contract, took an oath from Bani Israel as well. So let's go back to the first ayah. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu awfu bil uqud. ए ईमान वालो, अपने अहद को, अपने उकूद को, अपने मामलात को, अपनी ट्रांजैक्शंस को पूरा करो. याद रखना, अल्लाह ने बनी इसराइल से भी अहद लिया था. फिर उन्होंने क्या किया? What did they do then? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them bashara of completion of their oaths as well, of their contract with Allah and with the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَقَالَ اللَّهُ إِنِّي مَعَكُمْ. I am with you. لَإِنْ أَقَمْتُمُ الصَّلَاةَ, if you establish salah, وَآتَيْتُمُ الزَّكَاةَ, and you give zakah, وَآمَنْتُمْ بِرُسُلِي, and you believe in my prophets, وَعَزَّرْتُمُوهُمْ, and you help them, you strengthen them, وَأَقْرَضْتُمُ اللَّهَ قَرْضًا حَسَنًا, and you give a loan, a good loan to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لَأُكَفِّرَنَّ عَنْكُمْ سَيِّئَاتِكُمْ وَلَأُدْخِلَنَّكُمْ جَنَّاتٍ. And the ayah continues. I will wash away your sins and I will enter you into Jannah. And the Jannah will be such and such. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us a warning saying what happened to them. فَبِمَا نَقْضِهِمْ مِيثَاقَهُمْ, because of them breaking their contract with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the very first punishment that came from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon them, number one, لَعَنَّاهُمْ, we kicked them out of our rahmah. सबसे पहला नतीजा ये हुआ कि अल्लाह ताला के साथ जो वादा किया था रसूलों की नमाजें पढ़ने का, ज़कात देने का, रसूलों के ऊपर ईमान लाने का, रसूलों की दीन की मदद करने का, गुरबा की मदद करने का, अक़रद्तुमुल्लाह क़र्ज़न हसना simply means help out the poor people. इन चीजों को जब तोड़ा, when they violated all of these instructions and many more, what happened? The very first thing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took His rahmah, His mercy away from them. लअन्नाहुम. लानत का मतलब होता है कि अल्लाह ताला की रहमत से दूरी हो जाए. अल्लाह ताला की रहमत से दूर हो गए. फिर क्या हुआ? اللہ تعالیٰ کی رحمت سے دور ہونے کا مطلب پھر اس کا نتیجہ کیا ہوا؟ What did that result in? وَجَعَلْنَا قُلُوبَهُمْ قَاسِيَةً. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made their hearts, hardened their hearts. What is the meaning of harden their hearts? And I want to take the rest of the time. I do want to mention what's in the rest of the ayah as well, but let's define جَعَلْنَا قُلُوبَهُمْ قَاسِيَةً later. Let's talk about what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rewarded them or punished them with. So the very first punishment was لَعَنَّاهُمْ, kicked out of mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number two, their hearts were hardened by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number three, what happened? يُحَرِّفُونَ الْكَلِمَ عَمَّ مَوَاضِعِهِ. They keep on changing the orders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You ask them something about what's in Torah, and they will give a twisted answer. You ask them something about a hukum of Sharia, and they will give a twisted answer. Why? Because they were not acting upon it themselves. وَنَسُوا حَظًّا مِمَّا ذُكِّرُوا بِهِ. And a lot of lessons and the messages that they were given and they were reminded, they were told to keep in mind, they keep on forgetting them. وَنَسُوا حَظًّا مِمَّا ذُكِّرُوا بِهِ. They forgot many of those orders that were given to them. وَلَا تَزَالُ تَطَّلِعُ عَلَى خَائِنَةٍ مِّنْهُمْ. And you will find Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam has been addressed here by saying, and by extension of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, all of us, you will find many of doing embezzlement, khiyanat, khain ban gaye. Aksar log khain ban gaye. They were not honest people. So honesty was taken away from them. They started to forget, or they forgot the orders of their book. They keep on changing the orders. Not only that they forgot, they keep on giving twisted answers. يُحَرِّفُونَ الْكَلِمَ عَمَّ مَوَاضِعِهِ refers to that. And this was all result of جَعَلْنَا قُلُوبَهُمْ قَاسِيَةً. Now let's talk about جَعَلْنَا قُلُوبَهُمْ قَاسِيَةً. What is the meaning of hardening of the heart? जब किसी का दिल सख्त हो जाता है तो नेक बात उसके दिल में घुसती नहीं है. When the hearts are hardened, you're trying to call the brothers towards doing some good deed. His hard time understanding it. He will always give you excuses. He doesn't have the courage to say no at this time. He will give excuses. But in his heart, he is feeling like, no, I don't need to go to masjid. I can just, something more important has come. This is called hardening of the heart. Hardening of the heart also results in ourselves not wanting to do anything. हम में से कितने लोग हैं जो रमजान में इरादा करते हैं, we make firm intentions that from now on, inshaAllah, if I am home, I will make sure that my salah is in the masjid. But something else comes up. Sometimes there are valid a'dhar, valid excuses for that. We are excused from attending jama'ah in the masjid, and we can pray at home or anywhere else. But a lot of times, laziness takes over. What happened to our aqd with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we are making now, and we will continue to make until the end of the month? How many of us make aqd with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Ya Allah, we are going to memorize Quran. Let's talk about our contracts with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for doing good deeds. Right? Let's not talk about the contract that we have made with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala refraining from evil, as there are no excuses for that. So we will not talk about that. Let's talk about the contract that we are making with Allah for doing good deeds. Ya Allah, from now on, inshallah, I will pray all of my salawat whenever I'm home. I'll pray with Jama'ah, inshallah. Say inshallah. But then what happens to that contract? Why did it happen to that? What happened and why did it happen? You know, we might be saying, someone call us over to the masjid and he's reminding us, and we say, I'm kamzor in my iman. I'm weak in my iman. Please make dua that my iman becomes stronger. This is not zu'uf of iman. This is not weakness of iman. Weakness of iman will take us to somewhere else. That's a different context. That's a different topic. Weakness of iman results in something else. Weakness of iman results in making objections. Not wanting to come to masjid. You know what results in not wanting to come to masjid? Weakness of our hearts. हमारे दिल कमजोर हो जाते हैं. हमारे दिल के अंदर वो ताकत नहीं रहती. दिल नहीं चाहता. उर्दू में कहते हैं ना, उससे जाके मिल लो, दिल नहीं चाह रहा, ये काम कर लो. वो अपने बच्चों से बोलते हैं, यार ये काम कर लो. बाबा दिल नहीं चाह रहा. वो भाई क्यों नहीं चाह रहा? वो दिल के अंदर ख्वाहिश नहीं है. There is no motor in our heart. There is no motor in the system that will push us, get us out of our bed and bring us to masjid. And that motor is our heart. And it becomes weaker and weaker and weaker, slowly, day by day. Every time we miss one good deed, that motor becomes weaker. That mechanism of bringing us to masjid, be it cold or hot, that strength that it's cold outside, I know that it's freezing outside. I would have to spend maybe good 8 minutes scraping off my windshield because my son doesn't want to do it. He does, mashallah. That strength is not in my arms to kick that blanket away off me. That strength is in my heart. And as we avoid coming and as we give in to that weakness of the heart, wanting us to stay in the bed, wanting us to stay on the phone, wanting us to stay relaxed on our couches because I just got back from work. Right? Susti hai. Susti kahan hai? Mere haathon mein nahi hai. This laziness does not sit in my hands. It doesn't sit in my feet. Where does it sit? In our hearts. So what do we need to work on? We need to work on our hearts. How? Mashaa'ikh jo zikr karate hain na, Allah, 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 ये दिल को मजबूत ही कराने के लिए करवाया जाता है. ये अल्लाह 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 ये ऐसे नहीं बस सवाब. किताबों में अगर आप पढ़ें तो इसको इबादत नहीं लिखा हुआ, अगर चाहे इबादत. ये इलाज लिखा हुआ है. जिक्रुल्लाह इलाज है. अल्लाह का जिक्र करना इलाज है. बाज़ हज़रात के लिए ये इलाज कुरान पाक की तिलावत में. For some the cure is in the recitation of Kalamullah. For some the cure is in the recitation of Afzalul Zikr, La ilaha illallah. For some the cure is in just sitting down and saying Allah, 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 Allah. These adhkar, सुबह शाम के azkar जो है ना, ये सारे दिल को मजबूत करने की दवाइयां हैं. मशाइख ने इनको विटामिन से ताबीर किया है. These adhkar are like vitamins for us. They strengthen us. They strengthen our heart, just like vitamins do different jobs. They strengthen the stronger the heart, the better the functions. The weaker the heart, the weaker the functions. الَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنْ صَلَاتِهِمْ سَاهُونَ. Quran talks about certain types of people who are making salah. मुसलमान हैं ये लोग. कौन है वो लोग? जो अपनी नमाजों से गाफिल हैं. فَوَيْلٌ لِّلْمُصَلِّينَ الَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنْ صَلَاتِهِمْ سَاهُونَ. Those people, there are certain types of musalli which are ghafil, which are negligent about their salah. There's so many things that I want to mention. I have some notes here. And let me just bring those certain sins that have been mentioned of Ahle Kitab in Surah Maaidah, so we can learn from them and not make sure that these sins, they are not part of our lives. سَمَّاعُونَ لِلْكَذِبِ أَكَّالُونَ لِلسُّحْتِ. سَمَّاعُون لِلْكَذِبِ. جھوٹی باتوں کو بہت زیادہ سنتے ہیں. ایک ون افواہ, ون افواہ کو انگلش میں کیا کہتے ہیں بھائی؟ ہاں, رومر. One rumor, and now I have to find out I have to get to the bottom of it. One rumor. I have to get to the bottom of it. I have to find out all the details about it. And then not only that, I have to share that. So this is one of the sins of Bani Israel, of Ahle Kitab, that have been mentioned specifically here, out of many sins. Akkalun lis-suht, haram khaate, fatwa becha karte the, fatwa apne becha karte the. गरीब को पकड़ के सजा दिलवा दिया करते थे, अमीर को पकड़ के पैसे लेके बचा दिया करते थे. रिश्वत. अक्कालून लिस्सुहत. अकला खाना, बहुत ज्यादा. खाने वाले नहीं, आकिलूना नहीं. इट्स नॉट आकिलून. आकिलून इस खाने वाले. अक्कालून बहुत ज्यादा खाने वाले. Indiscreetly. All they were eating was haram. Haram food, haram earning, everything was haram. Akkalun lis-suht. क्या हम तो नहीं है ये काम करने वाले? क्या हमारे अंदर तो ये बुरी आदत नहीं आ रही? क्या हम तो when we hear some afwah, some rumor, क्या आता है सूरह नूर में? وَتَحْسَبُونَهُ هَيِّنًا وَهُوَ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ عَظِيمٌ. When Waqi'a Ifk, Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha was falsely blamed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keeps on instructing the people, Muslims, as far as our etiquettes. When there is a rumor out there, what should be your role? One, وَلَوْلَا إِذْ سَمِعْتُمُوهُ. When you heard that rumor, first thing you should have said, قُلْتُمْ مَا يَكُونُ لَنَا أَن نَتَكَلَّمَ بِهَذَا. This is not right for us to talk about this subject. This is the principle of when we hear a rumor. Or be strong, if you really want to get to the bottom of it, grab the hand of the brother, let's go and confirm it with the brother. Let's try that. Let's see if the brother who's giving you the rumor, if he has time to actually come to that person's house and confirm it for you. Let's see if he has it. He will not have time. He will not have time. قُلْتُمْ مَا يَكُونُ لَنَا أَن نَتَكَلَّمَ بِهَذَا. This is not munasib for us. This is not right for us to be talking about this thing. Leave it. भाई आंखों का गुनाह तो सुना है ना? सब लोग आंखों के गुनाहों के बारे में बात करते हैं, कानों के भी तो गुनाह होते हैं. We talk about the sins of our eyes, what about the sins of our ears? سَمَّاعُونَ لِلْكَذِبِ. यहां पर कुरान ने बोलने वाले नहीं कहा. क्या कहा? सुनने वाले. बहुत ज्यादा सुनते हैं, सुनते ही रहते हैं. उनको बड़ा शौक होता है, यहां की खबर भी मालूम कर लें, वहां की खबर भी मालूम कर लें. आपके साथ क्या हुआ, उनके घर में क्या हुआ, उनके बेटे के साथ क्या हुआ, उनकी बेटी के साथ क्या हुआ. भाई अगर आपको ہیلپ کرنے کی کوئی انٹینشن نہیں ہے تو پھر اپنے کان بند کر لیں، ورنہ سماعون للکذب میں آ جائے گا. کیونکہ اگر یہ جھوٹی بات ہوئی تو پھر ہم بھی جھوٹی باتیں سننے والوں میں شمار ہو گئے. نہیں سننا چاہیے، منع کر دیں. قرآن نے، اللہ نے سکھایا یہ ادب. ایسا کیوں نہیں ہوا کہ جب تم نے یہ بات سنی، how come it didn't happen that when you heard that قلتم، how come you didn't say ما يكون لنا أن نتكلم بهذا؟ Who's teaching us this lesson? Allah is teaching us that you should be saying, whenever you hear a rumor, you should be saying ما يكون لنا أن نتكلم بهذا سبحانك. It's not right for us to be talking about this subject. Leave it, close it. وَتَحْسَبُونَهُ هَيِّنًا. Down the road, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings it something else out of our nature. The feelings that we have when we are hearing something about someone, some brother, some sister, some family, we think it's a very small matter. Allah is telling us our psychology. وَتَحْسَبُونَهُ هَيِّنًا. You think it's a small thing? وَهُوَ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ عَظِيمٌ. اللہ کے یہاں یہ بہت بڑی بات ہے. یہ ہیں وہ گناہ جن میں بنی اسرائیل ملوث تھے. Another one specifically mentioned, about which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that their anbiya alayhimus salatu wassalam sent la'na on them. لُعِنَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا مِن بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ عَلَى لِسَانِ دَاوُودَ وَعِيسَى بْنِ مَرْيَمَ ذَلِكَ بِمَا عَصَوْا وَكَانُوا يَعْتَدُونَ. Bani Israel were cursed from their prophets. Why? بِمَا عَصَوْا وَكَانُوا يَعْتَدُونَ. They were disobedient and they were crossing all the boundaries. How so? Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala again talks about something very specific. These are not just historical events. This is not telling us about how Ahl Kitab are or were. This is not that we start hating them. This is one of the maqasid of this us learning about all of this, is that we refrain from bringing these practices into our lives. Next one is كانوا لا يتناهون عن منكر فعلوه. This is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's feedback about people of the book. This is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's commentary about Ahl Kitab. كانوا لا يتناهون عن منكر فعلوه. They would not stop people from when they would see people doing wrong things, they would just